if you've ever seen someone that has something you desire, live a life that you desire, or maybe you have an achievement that you want to have, and at some point this begins to make you compare yourself to them, maybe even make you question your life progress, we have a meeting right now. We have a meeting right now. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be sharing with you ways to manage comparison. Not necessarily to get rid of it 100%, but there's a way you can manage comparison so that it will benefit you at the end of everything. You will become more productive. Now, if this is your first time on this channel, please feel free. This is an amazing community, okay? And there's a whole lot that happens here, talking about hair and human development, everything basically. So you're so welcome. Do want not to make it your last by clicking on the subscribe button, and also turn on your post notification so that you'll be the first person to know whenever I make an upload. On that note, let's talk about comparison. Now, what is comparison? Comparison simply refers to the act of finding out the differences or similarities between two people or things, and this refers to body types, lifestyle, life achievements, social media highlights, everything that makes you want to find the difference between you and someone else. If I'm bringing it down to you, it simply means that comparison is the act of you finding out the difference between different people, you and some people, your life and other people's lives, your body and other people's body, basically you and every other person around you. When you try to find the differences or similarities, you are comparing yourself to those people. Now, you have the two sides of comparison. You have the positive and the negative side of comparisons. The positive side basically refers to you finding out the similarities or differences between you and someone else just to make a difference in your life, just to make an improvement, just to, upgrade yourself and make yourself better than you were before. It simply means that at the end of the comparison process, you are able to find out what you need to do to yourself and find out what other people are doing in their lives that makes them better than you are, and you're able to replicate the processes that they've gone through. Not necessarily exactly like them, but the processes you need to go through to become a better individual. Now, that is positive comparison. But negative comparison, that is where we get it wrong sometimes. Now, the difference between the positive and the negative comparison is that unlike the positive comparison that makes you want to get better and improve yourself, the negative side of comparison makes you to feel inferior to other people. You feel like you're not fulfilled in life. You feel like you don't have enough for people to accept you. You basically feel like you don't have enough for the world to accept you, and this is because you have accepted the fact that you are not like those people. You're not even up to what they do. You don't have the same lifestyle like them. You don't have the same body type like them. You don't have the same achievements like them, and it makes you see yourself as a lower person, as a lower individual. It generally makes you have a low self-esteem and makes you put a lower value on yourself. Your self-worth reduces. It goes from here to here. It's even possible you didn't even have self-worth in the beginning, and that is because you've been comparing yourself to people. And trust me, comparing yourself to people is one mistake that would make your life way worse than it was before. I'm telling you from experience, honey. I am telling you from experience. So what causes comparison? What makes individuals compare themselves to other people? What makes you compare yourself to other people? The first reason that makes one compare him or herself to other people is identity crisis. Identity crisis simply means that you have a distorted knowledge of who you are. You don't have the right knowledge of who you are, who you're supposed to even be in the first place, and which is basically as a result of the wrong family foundation that most of us have had. All right, the family is the first unit that makes up the society. Now, I always say that if individuals in the family are right, if these two individuals that want to get married are healthy, they will definitely build a healthy home, and they will also build healthy kids with healthy self-esteem, with healthy self-identity. Now, the mistake is when you find yourself in a family that is not healthy, there is no way you would grow up as a healthy individual. There is absolutely no way. It starts with your foundation process. You basically see yourself in a family where you're not even affirmed as a child. The family is the first school that a child goes to. The family is the first institution that molds the foundation of a child's life. If the family is able to do its duties, to perform its duties in a child's life by molding that child mentally, by molding that child psychologically, by molding that child spiritually, by molding that child emotionally, the child will grow up to have a healthy identity. Because everybody is a product of nature and nurture. And nurture simply refers to how your family has built you to be. It is better to have a preserved childhood than to have a repaired adulthood. When you see someone that has a preserved childhood as an adult, you can tell there is healthy self-esteem, there is healthy identity, there is healthy self-confidence. You see the person feel so confident and comfortable in his or her skin. The person might compare, but it's not necessarily to feel low about him or herself. The comparison at the end of the whole process leads the person to finding out beautiful things about him or herself that makes him or her to become a better individual. That is one thing that happens when someone has a preserved childhood. You see that person as an adult not struggle with, childhood trauma. That person has a positive outlook towards life. And even when life tries to hold that person down, he or she is able to tap inside from the energy within that has been built as a child and is able to find him or herself back again and just show up. That's what happens when you have a preserved childhood. But when you have an abused childhood, you become a damaged child and you grow into a damaged adult. And it is so shocking because you now see lots of adults with emotional damage. They basically don't have a positive outlook towards life. They are so negative. They have low self-esteem. They have identity crisis. They just don't have it all figured out. When you see these two individuals, you can tell that there is a difference. That is what will make you see a young girl that has so much self-confidence and believes that she is the most beautiful girl in the whole wide world. Even when you tell her she's beautiful, you might be like the 1,010th person telling her that. Because she thinks she's beautiful, because she knows she's beautiful, because she knows that it is not about the societal standards of beauty. She knows that she is beautiful in her own being, in her own uniqueness, in the way God created her. So the foundation of the family plays a huge role to how a human being manages comparison. Alright, because we live in a society that would always make you compare yourself to people, but it is how you handle the comparison that will make you become a better person or a worse person. Another result of wrong family foundation is the wrong self-image that you would eventually have. Because you don't have that right foundation, you will notice that you have the wrong self-image. Aside you having identity crisis, the image you have about yourself, the knowledge you have about yourself, the impression you have about yourself will basically be dependent on the society around you. Because your family did not do the first job by building you up as a child, you will find out that you'll be easily influenced by the society you find yourself in. You'll be easily influenced by people. That is exactly what will make you to start feeling like you need to be like somebody else to look beautiful. That's exactly what will make you listen to people when they bully you because you don't even have the right self-image. Do you get it? That is exactly what will make you to listen to people that don't speak well of you. The same thing that will make you to compare your body type, to compare your looks, to compare your legs. I battled with that. I can't even lie. I hated my legs growing up. In fact, I hated several things about myself growing up because puberty came very late for me, and I had friends that puberty came so early, and because as a young teenager, that was the in thing, that was like trending because you have to have every feature. I felt like I needed to do extra, to feel accepted by them. If anything, it made me to feel so inferior. It made me to feel so ugly. As a matter of fact, I became a tomboy. I became a tomboy. I think the good thing about it is that I'm naturally feminine, so it wasn't so hard to step out of that tomboy phase of my life. You can imagine me a tomboy. Jeez. I can't even imagine it. I can't. Now, how does comparison affect your life? The first is you have a low self-esteem. Baby girl, baby boy, you will definitely have a low self-esteem if you keep comparing yourself. I'm talking about the wrong comparison right now. It basically makes you to not feel valuable. It makes you to think of yourself as a low individual. It makes you to feel inferior when you meet people that maybe you think are better than you. It makes you to keep seeing the fault in you. makes you feel like you're not enough. You're just basically not enough for people to accept you the way you are. And that's because you compare yourself in the wrong way. I'm not saying don't compare yourself to people. No, I'm not saying don't do that. But it's about how you handle these things. So when you compare yourself unnecessarily to people in the wrong way, you, my friend, would have a low self-esteem. The next way comparison affects you is that you become so unhappy with yourself, with your life, with your entire being. You know how depression holds you down? If you've ever suffered depression before, I have suffered it before. It just cripples you. It cripples your productivity, makes you feel so low about yourself, makes you feel so unmotivated, like you are in your own world and that world is full of misery because you keep comparing yourself to people. All right, which leads me to the next way it affects your life. It makes you less productive. It literally affects your productivity because you keep comparing yourself to other people in a negative way. It makes you feel so low of yourself, makes you feel so defeated. You literally see that you're less productive. You just don't have anything going on in your life at all. If you ever had anything going on in your life, when you start comparing yourself to other people in a negative way, you lose faith and belief in yourself. Now, comparing yourself to people also limits your authenticity expression. There is an authentic you, there is a real you. But when you compare yourself to people, you would naturally, start reducing or limiting your real self from finding expression. And you will start tilting towards the self that the society portrays to you. You want to not become the way the society wants you to be. You want to become the way your friends want you to be. You want to become like other people. It means that you're not allowing your real self to find expression. And your real self is found in God, no other person. Forget about what the society tells you about, oh, this is how you're supposed to be, this is how you should be. Your real self is found in God. And when you keep comparing yourself to people negatively, trust me, when you even compare yourself to people at all, it makes you to want to be the way the society expects you to be. So in other words, you are conforming to the values of the society instead of your value. Now, I totally understand that sometimes, even when you have a preserved childhood and then you step into the society, you eventually meet people that, unfortunately did not have the kind of experience you had as a child. And then they start bullying you. You start feeling inferior. You start seeing people talk to you about how you look, talk you down and tell you, oh, you're not pretty enough, you're not tall, you're so short, you're so tiny, you have bow legs, you have this, you have that. And it is normal to feel bad, all right? But at least you had a good foundation, which is where you will have to tap into that foundation and learn how to deal with it. But if you did not have that foundation, I will tell you how to manage comparison. Now, how do you handle comparison? The first way to handle comparison is reduce the time you spend on social media. You need to understand that people show you their highlights on social media. Nobody has it figured out. Nobody has it perfect. People will only show you what they want you to see. And that's how it is. So if you can spend less time on social media, trust me, you can protect your mind better. It simply means that when you go on social media and you see people post their, their best life or the highlights of their lives, you see them on your timeline. Just understand that these people have issues as well, just like you. But this is what they chose to show you. And that should not make you feel less of yourself. You need to protect your mind, especially when you find out that there are certain people on social media that makes you feel a certain way about yourself. It's not so hard. Unfollow them for your mental health. Not because you hate them, but because you want to stay away from that particular highlight that makes you feel a certain way, because you want to just help yourself, first of all, to see them in a better light, to see their posts in a better light. Unfollow them. It's very simple. Sometimes you can even take breaks on social media because social media is crazy, trust me. That particular platform is one crazy platform that would make you to start feeling like you're not even doing so much in life. Oh my God, you have no idea. Especially when you now see people that have the kind of life that you wish you had, but not even knowing that these people don't really live like that every day. It's just like when you say what I ordered versus what I got. Social media lifestyle versus reality. These two things are different. There is so much difference in social media lifestyle and reality. The earlier you know that, the better for you. Trust me, social media lifestyle does not make sense at all. So protect your mind. Protect yourself from social media pressure. Those things do not work in your favor. Have some me time. Take care of your mind and protect your mind basically. Now the next way to manage comparison is to build a right motive for it. You need to understand that your life should be the benchmark whenever you want to compare yourself to people. You are the goal. You are the competition here. It is you versus you. You need to know that your life progress should not be determined by how far ahead you are of others, but by how far ahead you are of your previous growth. So it simply means that when you want to compare yourself, compare your present stage to the previous stage of your life. Compare your future phase to the present phase of your life. It simply means that the competition is you, nobody else. So when you want to compare yourself to people, find out what they did to get there and try and replicate it to your favor. That's how to handle comparison, not to make it affect your self-esteem and make it affect your self-confidence and self-image. There's a way you can handle comparison such that it will make you productive, because every great person had to do something right. There is a sacrifice they had to make. There's a lifestyle they had to live. So when you want to compare yourself to that great person, ask yourself questions. What did they have to do? What sacrifices did they have to make? What road did they have to go through? What did they have to do to be there? Now ask yourself the question, what should I do to also get there? Not necessarily where they are in their own phase, but where you should be if you try to compare. So forget about whoever is ahead of you or whoever is just above you. You should be the focus. So focus on yourself. Okay? The next way to manage comparison is to learn to celebrate and support other people's achievements. You should learn how to be happy for people genuinely. When you are a happy person, when you are happy for people genuinely, it would definitely make you to want to do more to be like them. Alright, it makes you to just have some positive vibe around you. It makes you to put your mind in a positive way, so that way you're able to also learn what these people have done to make them achieve their success, and it will make you to want to replicate it as well to achieve yours. Spread positivity by cheering other people up when they achieve their goals in life, so that other people will cheer you up. It is give and take. When you give a negative energy, that's exactly what you would get back. But when you spread love, when you spread support, when you spread positive energy, you will get it back in return. So become that person that would always support your friends, support people that are ahead of you, clap for them, give them an applause, applaud them basically. Celebrate them, support them, speak well of them. Let it not be that when you see someone doing better, you're speaking ill of them just to make people to hate them. You're trying to be so envious so much that you don't even speak good things about them. That is a wrong way to handle comparison. Become very accepting of their achievements and learn how to deal with it positively and applaud them. That way you will put your mind in a better space to be supportive and to have some positive energy to do yours as well. The next way to handle comparison is to use it as a source of motivation to become better in your life, to achieve your goals. Comparison can be a great catalyst for change as long as it is healthy. Learn to be acceptable of people's achievements and use a comparison to be better than you were before. When people achieve things in life, all right, ask yourself questions. What did they have to do to get to this point in their lives? And what do I need to do to become like them or to even be better than them? Not because you're competing, because you're motivated, you're inspired to do better, you're inspired to achieve your goals. Not that you're hating on them or you're being envious such that you want to bring them down. That's a wrong way to do it. So instead of you feeling envious all the time of people's achievements, ask yourself questions. Find out how they did it and replicate it in your life pursuit, and that way you're able to maximize this comparison positively. Become inspired by people's achievements and use it as a motivating factor to achieve your life pursuit and goals as well. The next way to manage comparison is to know your triggers and handle them, work on them. Find out what makes you compare yourself to people. Find out what makes you feel insecure when you find yourself around people. Find out these things. It could be social media. It could be because of the environment you find yourself. It could be a certain location. Ask yourself questions. What makes me feel insecure about myself? What makes me feel low about myself because I compare myself to these people or to these things? And try to avoid them. Your mental health is very, very important and should be a priority to you. So avoid anything that threatens your mental health. Avoid all these triggers. Just find them out and deal with them immediately. The next way to marriage comparison is to understand that insecurities are universal. Everybody has an insecurity they're dealing with. Nobody has it to figure it out. Nobody has it all planned out. Nobody's life is perfect. Even the most confident person in the world has insecurities. Everybody, including me, I have my insecurities, and it's something I've had to work on with time. All right, you need to know that it is okay for you to feel that way about yourself and move on with your life. We are different. We're all different, and that's okay. We have insecurities, and that's okay. Learn to be comfortable in that. Learn to show forth your strength to people while you're working on these insecurities. And some of these insecurities might be something you can't even change. Accept it the way it is. The insecurities you can work on, by all means, work on them. Train yourself to be better in them. But you see those ones you cannot work on, especially the physical ones, you don't have to do anything about it. Accept those insecurities. These are basically like your unique part of you. Accept it. So do not let this insecurity snatch you of your authenticity, of your real self. Do not let it snatch who you're supposed to be. Do not let it limit your productivity in life or how far you go in life. The insecurities are totally okay. Now, the last way to manage comparison is to count your blessings. You need to learn gratitude. You need to understand that the level you find yourself in life is someone's prayer point. And when you understand that, you will become grateful for any little achievement you have in life. You will become grateful for that little win that you don't consider to be anything. Because that particular win is what someone else is crying to have. That life that you have that you're so angry about, someone else is literally crying to have it. All right, so you need to become very grateful. Learn to be a grateful person. Learn to be grateful for the things that you have and bother less about the things you don't have. All you can do is just to pray for them. If these are things that you can achieve with your strength and hard work and your persistence, then by all means go for them. Put in the work, step out of your comfort zone and achieve these things. But be grateful for the ones you already have, because someone out there wants it and doesn't have it. When you're a grateful person, you attract more from God, because He wants to bless you more because you're even being grateful to the little one He gave you. So be grateful. Alright, now I'm so sure you've learned a whole lot from this video. Now the bottom line is, no one has the right to make you feel inferior without your consent. Yes, I said it. Without your consent. It simply means that you're the one that would give people the consent to make you feel less of yourself. Another bottom line, stop comparing yourself to people. You are different. You are amazing. You are beautiful the way you are. You are just an original. So when you try to become like other people, you become a photocopy, and there is only one original. So how about you become the original version of yourself? Be the one and only you. Be the one and only human being that is just like you. Stop comparing yourself to people. Okay, now this is the end of this video. If you have enjoyed it up to this moment, please give it a thumbs up and do want to subscribe to this channel. Like I always say, there is more from where this is coming from. I would love to also know your thoughts, so just share your thoughts with me. Drop your comments on the comment section so that way I'll be able to know what exactly you have in mind. Has this helped you in any way? Please tell me, let me know. All right, and if there is something you want me to talk about, oh, by all means let me know and I will talk about it without hesitation. I love you to the moon and back, and thank you for sticking with me up to this moment.